Pretty exciting game, a lot of fun. That team, especially that team, means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys and everybody that's in this room. And with that, I open up questions.
Yeah, Coach, could you go through the scenario where you use your timeouts to try to, save some time to get the offense back to the ball?
We got the ball. They got the ball back. They were a 4-minute drive there, and we didn't want to waste time at all there. We tried to jump off sides. They declined that penalty in order to give them the first down, in order to get off the grass. We knew if we could hold them to 3 and give our guys a chance to go out there and win the game, we'd have a chance. We saved just enough time for those guys to go down and march down and get that game-winning touchdown, and I thought that was well managed by us. That was well managed by the coaching staff. That was well managed by the players. You can't give those guys enough credit, the guys that go in and execute, and all the credit deserves to go to those guys on offense. We talked about operation. We talked about communication, and that was the highest level of it on both sides of the ball, all phases of the game. I'm really fired up about that.
Did you discuss the play of Kirk Cousins today and 4 or 5 on that game-winning drive?
It's really what you expect. And, it's a process in this league. It's really a process in this league, and that's the process that you go through. You're not always going to play as well as you want to play. And today he went out and played important in the biggest moments and the biggest times. And those are the things you want to have happen when you get a chance to go out there and get wins. And it was great to see today with Kirk Cousins.
A first real test for this team on the road, especially prime time, and you guys just march down the field. What's this do for you guys in terms of just carrying them around the field? You get an early game like this one.
I know you can't ride the emotional roller coaster. They're all the same. We'll go out next week and we'll attack our process and get right back to it. It's hard to say the first real test when you played a National Football League game last week. Anytime you get a chance to go line up in between those lines, it's full go. And that's what they did today, and I'm so proud of them.
Coach, did you see Kurt look at Kurt before he went on the drive? Did you see the confidence in his face?
You know what? I did not. Because I know what that confidence looks like from practice. I know what that confidence looks like from every day walking in the hallway. I know what that confidence looks like from his process every day and learning and going out there and being his very best self. I didn't need to look at him at that drive. The team let him know, his guys, we looked at each other before the game and said, hey, we're going to go do it for each other, and that's exactly what they did.
Jesse Bates, touchdown-saving pass breakup, game-saving interception. How critical is he to the success of your game?
You got to give Jesse a lot of credit. You got to give everybody a lot of credit. The Eagles are a great offense, man. They can move the ball in a bunch of different ways, or various different ways. And Jesse going out there making those type of plays for us is very important. It's the reason he's here. It's the reason our ownership went out there and put all the money into it, into what we got going on defense and offense and everything else. And it's the reason we're able to put ourselves in position to go out there and win football games. And he's just a big part of it.
Coach, how big was the offensive line tonight?
Whenever you got a chance to go run the football, my stats got wet, so I can't tell you for how much, but when you get a chance to go out there and be able to rush the football, obviously we gave up a little bit too many rushing yards in there, but that gives us confidence, that allows us to throw the football, and when you got to go out there and make those meaningful plays and meaningful moments, that's what happens.
Did you get a bad?
I got a little one. I think Mr. Blank got one too, so I was pretty happy about it.
You were with the team in 2018. They lost divisional round games.
You're so negative right now. I don't even want to talk to you.
No, how emotionally refreshing is this for you? Because you've been with the organization for a long time. You've suffered some pretty heart-wrenching defeats in this stadium.
For me, I'm never going to ride that emotional roller coaster, right? Every game you go out there and it's a process, right? You play the game, you go out there and try to win, try to give it your best efforts, and you got to be able to deal with those reality of those results. And we won't ride that way. We won't talk about the 2018 or 17, whatever it was in the playoff game when we couldn't quite get it done to go on to move on to the next round. But, they're all bad. They all hurt. Every time you go out there and you get a chance, you don't get done what you want to get done, there are always going to be ones that hurt. There are always going to be ones that sting.
How does this feel to be, this is your first victory of the season? How does it feel?
I'm pretty easygoing. I'm pretty steady. And I didn't come here to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I was brought here to go out here and try to put us in a tough position to win championships, and that's what we want to do.
I understand what you're saying about the emotional roller coaster, but is it possible that a moment like this and proof of concept in a big moment can unlock things and just sort of free things up and give you a little more confidence?
I'm sure we'll find out, right? You get a chance to go out there and play the game every week, and you got to get these guys ready for the next opponent, right? I said it last week, you can't let Pittsburgh beat you twice, and I'm going to say it this week. You can't let this go in the way and get in the way of what you're trying to do for the following week. We got a short week coming up, and we got to go right back at it.
Can you speak to just imagine the advantage of being 1-1 and coming out, gaining a win like this versus being 0-2 if that last drive hasn't worked out?
Yeah, I don't want to speak in hypotheticals. I'm happy we are where we are. And we're excited about that. We'll move on to our next opponent. We got a pretty good quarterback coming into town, and we can't wait to see him.
There's so much talk in the league about what makes the difference between a quarterback who, can't get over the hump, and a guy who does, a guy who can do it? Is it moments like that? Is it that last drive? Is that the separator?
No, those moments come in the playoffs. We're a long way from that. You know, we got to get out here and try to put ourselves in position to get into those competitive moments so we can show those things. We haven't shown that yet. We've shown the fact that we can go into somebody else's stadium and win a game, and we've shown we can win in a 2-minute drive. And those are important for us to go find out.
Could you discuss Drake London's play after, just 2 catches last week and a really play today in the game? Catches and the touchdown one at the end.
It's not just Drake. We didn't play well on offense last week. I was very clear about that. We played a lot better today. Well, obviously, we'll go look at the tape, and Drake played a big part of that, and so did a bunch of other people, whether it be Bijan, whether it be Tyler Algier, whether it be all the guys, the O-line going out there really giving the best efforts and looking forward. And that's what you got to do. You got to get better and better every time you go out. And it's with great energy, he provided us with great physical presence, all the things that he does. Drake's just a great man, and we're glad he's on our football team.
And Mooney made big contributions for today, too.
He did, man. All those guys, man. They got high expectations.
I know it's hard to assess offense.
There in the football field, in the practice field, and now bringing it to the games so you guys can see it on Monday Night Football is very special to us.
Why are you holding the ball?
I got a game ball, Tori. The guys gave it to me, and, I've gotten a lot of game balls in my day. This one is really special because of that team, because of the people that work in our building, which you are well familiar with, and for the guys that we're doing it for. When you're talking about Terry, you're talking about Greg Beatles, you're talking about Rich McKay, you're talking about Arthur Blank, you're talking about Josh, you're talking about Max, you're talking about all the guys that sit in those rooms with us and do all the things we want to do, all our limited partners that are here today, all of those guys. It's special in our building. We want to make this thing a special place for us. Everybody but Bassity. Jukes, you're special too.
Anything else?
How much of the final drive was planned out, or was it just Zach was kind of going play by play?
We went to 2-minute drive. When you practice the 2-minute situation a bunch, we were to get into our 2-minute offense, and we had a couple openings in their defense, and Kirk made a bunch of throws, and Zach closed it out. You got to give credit where credit is due. He called an excellent game. We had to get some of those. Oshie had some of those touchdown drives back that were 3, but whatever. He went out there and scored when it was most important time. He was his best when his best was required.
You just mentioned that Zach called an excellent game. How much can this do for his confidence?
I don't know if he ever lost confidence. I don't know if you've been around our building at all, but our building does not lack confidence. And he's a guy with authentic swagger. He was brought here because of his mental toughness. He was brought here because of his juice that he's able to bring to what we're able to do. He was brought here to create with these offensive players that we have, and I never lost confidence in that.
How much did your plan change when they threw the ball on 3rd down? How much did that allow you to do more?
Which one are we talking about?
On the final drive, when they threw the ball on 3rd down, throw the incomplete pass, probably gives you, 30 extra seconds?
That gives you a little bit extra time. The whole key there was to get off the grass, and however it was, whatever the case may be, whatever time you needed, you got 30 extra seconds. We were able to score, leaving 32 seconds for those guys to go out there and score. We held up on defense. They did not, and we got the win.
Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.